So in today's lesson, we're going to learn about converting fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions. So what I'll be doing here is basically writing up the solutions to some of these questions and also explaining what I'm doing in detail as I go along. So let's look first of all at converting decimals to fractions. If you look at question 1, convert 0.3 to a fraction. This is very straightforward. All it is 3 over 10. And students should be familiar from this from the decimals topic. Convert 0.03, question 2. Convert 0.03 to a fraction. Very simple again, 3 over 100. Okay. Question 3, change 1.53 to a improper fraction. Leave the 1 alone, please. It's not doing anything here. And the 0.53 is simply 53 over 100. Question 4, change 0.25 to a fraction. We know that's going to be 25 over 100. Just be careful here. 25 over 100 can be simplified even further to 1 over 4. Okay, question 5, change 0.2 to a fraction is simply 2 over 10. And again, this can be simplified further to 1 over 5. Question 6, express 1.4 as a mixed number in its simplest form. So same as question 3, we actually leave the 1 alone, okay, and we change the 0.4 to 4 over 10, and that then simplifies to 1 and 2 over 5, okay, and that is now complete. So that's simply how you convert decimals to fractions. The questions don't really get any harder than this, and the concepts are all quite the same. Converting fractions to decimals is a little bit trickier. Let's start off on the basics. Question 7, change 1 over 10 to a decimal, 0.1. That's fairly straightforward. Question 8, change 9 over 100 to a decimal, again 0.09. That's fairly straightforward. Change, question 9, write 8.63 over 1,000 as a decimal is 0.863. There's no working out necessary for any of these questions. Question 10, 9/10 over 10 as a decimal. You've got two options here. Option 1 is to rewrite this as 1 and 9 over 10. In other words, change it into a mixed fraction, and then this becomes 1.9. And the question is now complete. 11, the hard work's been done for you. Leave the 8 alone, please. It's a whole number. It's not a fraction, it's not a decimal. Leave the 8 alone, and 9 over 100 becomes 0.09. So that's the answer. Okay, question 12 now is different to the previous 5 questions. In question 12, our denominator is not 10, it's not 100, and it's not 1,000. It's not a number ending in zeros. So what we can do here is we can take the half, the original question, we can multiply the denominator by 5, which means we multiply the numerator by 5. That now becomes 5 over 10. And 5 over 10 simplifies to 0.5, okay? Again, that's a fairly straightforward question, but a little bit of working out required there. When we come to question 13, we don't have the luxury that we had in question 12. We can't make the denominator 10, and we can't make it 100. We can possibly make it 1,000. So what you do in these questions is you go straight to the traditional division that you've been doing for a long time. And so now we do 7 divided by 8. We're expecting some remainders, and it's a decimal, so we actually put some extra zeros there. And so now what we're going to do, 7 divided by 8 in the traditional format. 8 into 7 doesn't go. 8 into 70 goes 8 times. And that leaves us with a remainder. 8 times 8 is 64. So that leaves a remainder of 6. 8 into 70 goes 7 times. 8 times 7 is 56. Okay. With a remainder of 4. And 8 into 40 goes 5 times. So there's the answer. 0.875. If I just summarize what we've done so far. Question 7, 8, 9, 10, and question 11 were all straightforward, not requiring any working whatsoever. The reason being the denominator is a power of 10, 100 or 1,000. Question 12, we made the denominator 10 by multiplying it by 5 and multiply the numerator by 5. But we don't have that luxury in question 13, so we go straight to standard division. 14 is the same. We can't convert the denominator to 10 or 100, so now we go to straight division. When the question asks to convert it to a recurring decimal, it's giving you a hint. It's telling you that you're going to have an answer that's going to be ongoing. So now 2 divided by 3, and the 2, of course, we're expecting some remainder, so this is what we do. 3 into 2 does not go. 3 into 20 goes. 3 into 20 goes. 3 times 6 is 18, so it goes 6 times remainder 2. 3 into 20 goes 6 remainder 2. 3 into 20 goes 6 remainder 2, and so on and so on. So you can see how our answer is going to be 0.6 with a repeater on top. That's essentially, that's converting decimals to fractions and fractions back to decimals. Section 1, the converting decimals to fractions is much simpler. The key thing here is, of course, watching out in questions like 4, 5 and 6, where we have to simplify our answers. And the second section, converting fractions to decimals, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11